right off the top here, was not planning on talking about this today, was not planning on talking about the Leafs at all today. Sheldon Keefe relieved of his duties here in Toronto. He had 2 years remaining left on his deal, but let's be realistic here, guys. That is just money when it comes to MLSE. They don't care about that. That's pocket change to pay that man for the next 2 years. So that contract terminated, and the Toronto Maple Leafs now looking for a new head coach. So money right off the bat, your initial reaction. I mean, this is legitimately 10 minutes fresh here now that Sheldon Keefe has been fired from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Just initial thoughts on Keefe's departure and the team going in a separate direction.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I think it's been like a couple of years now, at least, that we've said that like this team needs a coaching change. But yeah, it's like there's just too much. There's just too much going on there now that you can't like you can't with good conscience say that you can just run everybody back now, right? So there's just so the coaching was the first thing. Obviously, you can't change all the players. You can start with the coach. So I think that it's a long time coming, and um, it should have happened a while ago. But for you guys there, I'm glad that it finally did.
And Russ, I mean, I don't know if you have any initial thoughts right off the top, but just this Leafs team having had that coach be around for so long, it felt kind of strange to see that guy hang on to his job. No disrespect to him, but just given the lack of success that they had here in this market, you watch the turnover of these coaches in other areas. The Seattle Kraken in this league for 3 years, Dave Haxtell already fired, and yet you're looking at a guy who had just held on and held on and held on. What do you make of this firing right now?
Yeah, I mean, so many nailed it. Long time coming. I think we talked about it on this show. We've talked about it in our group chat. A couple of the Edgework guys extremely happy this morning, I'm sure, with that decision. But yeah, it's interesting with some of the names popping up. These NHL coaches just get shuffled around. So and like you said, this team is way too talented to not have more success. They have so many good players. So it completely makes sense to me. I mean, like we said, saw this coming. The writing was on the wall, so to say. So not surprised at all. I think it's probably a good move, and happy for the Leafs fans and Rob and you.
Yeah, as of right now, it just feels a little bit relieving. I mean, it's no guarantee that the next coach who comes in here is going to push this team to a Stanley Cup or anything like that, but it just kind of feels like this one took too long to happen. You didn't want to change the core, you don't want to change those guys, you don't want to make some big trade. Then okay, the next logical thing would be to change the coach, and then you look at the end of season press conference every year, and it's like, nope, we're just gonna keep the guys back, and it's just we're keeps coming back. It's gonna be the same thing, and it's again no disrespect to Sheldon or his abilities or him as a person or anything like that, but when you just go through the same thing over and over and over again, you kind of just start to get to the point of like, okay, why are we doing this again? Like, this is the definition of insanity. We're trying this over and over again, expecting a different result. Maybe it's just time for a different voice, a different set of type of leadership. Maybe it's the same message, but it's said differently, and it just hits guys differently, and they start to adapt it. So that's kind of where I'm at with Sheldon Keefe. The news out of Toronto this morning. I mean, it's kind of one of those tough things to say that you're happy that someone has lost their job, but I feel like at the end of the day, Keefe's going to find a new job somewhere else. Who knows? Maybe his buddy over in Pittsburgh will be on the line with him pretty soon. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the next landing spot.